answered the call. Thank you so much for joining me. In case you don't know, my name is Kat Bine. I am a music and culture journalist, and I have spent more than half my life in the crazy world of electronic dance. Hello, Angelic Danny. Thank you for following. I'm so excited for you guys to join. I've been writing about dance music and rock music. Hi, John Marco. For more than a decade now, and I've written for Billboard Dance, Spin Magazine, MTV News, but this is really my little corner of the internet where I can share my conversations with musicians and artists and really interesting people that I meet along the way here with you all. And it's so exciting to be able to have a platform like Twitch where the conversation can be something that we all share together live. And there's so many of you here. Hello, hi, hi, Pastiempe. I hope I said that right. Hi, Ryan. Hi, Pixel. This is so fun. Thank you so much for joining me. And, this is the first official episode of Cat Calls. So if there are any technical difficulties, I ask for you to please bear with me. But if everything goes according to plan, I know we're going to have a really awesome show for you today. I'm going to be calling Droeloe. I'm pretty sure you guys know who they are, the Dutch duo that is a part of the Bitbird family. I've gotten to know them pretty well over the years, and I'm so excited that they want to be a part of this with me and with you guys. They came out with a really wonderful song called I Can't Wait that they made in quarantine, and I'm going to play the music video for you. They've got a lyric video that they put together with the beautiful artwork. Oh, good, Angelic, they're one of my favorites too. And after the video, I'm going to give them a call and we'll talk about I Can't Wait, how they put it all together, what inspired them, and then we're going to open up to chats with you guys. We're going to answer some questions. Some of you sent questions on Twitter over the last 24 hours, and go ahead and put your questions in the chat box as well, because my buddy GPS is on the prowl, and he's going to make sure that your questions get answered on the program as well. Oh, I'm so glad to hear that. Thank you. The powers that be. That's my friend. She's making sure the quality is up to snuff. So there's no reason to delay. I know you guys are all excited about speaking with Droeloe. Let's listen to I Can't Wait. I really like this song. It has the feeling of when you're sitting at home looking out the window, a bit longing for what you see out there or what's coming in your future. And I think that's something we can all relate to right now. I hope you're all safe and healthy inside your quarantines, your homes. I hope your families are safe and healthy. But when we share music like this together and moments like this together, it feels a little bit less isolated. So let's go ahead and watch the lyric video.
I can't wait to listen to the sun, to go outside and not be the only one. But the sun will stay when I'm inside. So in my mind, I'm with my friends, just having fun.
No, I did the bad thing. Sorry.
Till we move on.
Oh, I'm so glad this cheered you up. Yeah, we'll get to break down some of the tracks today. I know, Flaming HRU plays in my head too.
To listen to the sun, to go outside and not be the only one. I can't wait.
I hope you're singing along Angelic Danny.
I can't wait to listen to the sun, to go outside and not be the only one. But the sun will stay when I'm inside. So in my mind, I'm with my friends, just having fun until we move on.
Guys, it hits me right here. By the end of it, you know, the way that it just kind of like, lingers with you. I know you guys were talking about the trumpet, and the piano is fantastic as well. Yeah, I know, right? Crying. That part about, in my mind, I'm with my friends and wanting to go outside and not be the only one. Like, that's definitely something that we can all relate to right now. Oh, Coltrane, thank you for following. I hope that you enjoy the program. The thing with Droeloe is that their drums are so unique and recognizable. Yeah, we're definitely going to talk to them today. Oh, thank you, Campfire Eagle. Welcome to Cat Calls. Thank you for joining us. Yeah, we're definitely going to talk to them today about how they put their songs together, you know, what inspired their sound, how all of their tracks have that special sound that we love from Droeloe. And so when you hear the song, you know it's Droeloe. And Droeloe has such a unique style I've never heard before, and that's why I love them so much. Yeah, and you know, some songs that really tap into an emotion, those are the ones that hit you the hardest. And you know, even if you've never heard that song before, it's definitely going to leave a mark on you. And again, it's really beautiful that they put something together like this while we're all in the midst of the same feeling. I keep saying to my friends that what makes this time really unique is that the entire world is going through something that we've never experienced before, and we're all on the same page. You know, not one person is against another. We're just all in this together. So I think it's about time for us to call Droeloe. Thank you, Eber Stark. Thank you. Welcome to my little corner of the internet. I'm glad you're here. Okay, now give me a second. I'm gonna go get the Droeloe guys on the line and make sure they're ready to speak with all of us. I hope you're ready. And let me know how that sounded as well. You know, this is new for me, so did you hear the music okay? I'm just playing it on my computer, but I'm hopeful that it sounds decent enough. Oh, good! Was amazing! I'm glad to hear that. Thank you so much. All right, I'm calling the guys now. Get your questions ready. What are you guys doing? Tell me where you are in quarantine. Let us know. Yeah, I know. They were like, we can help you if you need any help, because obviously Hein is a little bit better at this visual stuff than I am. Okay. Hello from Seattle! Amazing! Oh my God, Ashley! That's you, Ashley. It's so good to see you. Or to see you in my chat. Okay. Are my guys here?
Let me hop up.
Oh, hey! I hear voices.
Hello.
Hello! Okay, I'm just waiting
How
for
is
your
it going?
visuals to come up, and then I'm going to join you in on the screen. Hello from India, Czech Republic, Quebec, Canada, Seattle. Yay! Okay, let's see if I did this right. There you are! Say hello to everybody.
Yay! Hey guys, buddy.
Wow, thank you so much for joining. There's definitely people here that are excited to speak with you, and we just watched the I Can't Wait music video. You guys really did a great job with that song. I have to say, thank you for putting what so many people are feeling into a song that is somehow both full of the strange feeling we all have, that weird, unexpected, like not quite knowing how to put our finger on it, longing for something to come next, but still really hopeful and keeping the knowledge that our friends are closer than they seem right now to all of us. So thank you guys.
Thank you.
So where are you guys? Why don't you tell everyone where you are right now?
Do you want to go first, Mike?
Okay, I'm currently in Vancouver, British Columbia, in Canada. Yeah.
Cool. Inside as you should be, staying safe.
Inside, at home, as it should be. Yeah, that's where I'm spending most of my time now.
Oh, Vincent, I hear the birds in your background.
Yeah, I'm in the backyard of my parents' house in the Netherlands. And it's almost getting dark, so I might just go back inside in a little bit. But
well, before you do, I know that this is the backyard that inspired I Can't Wait. Would you pan the camera around for everyone real quick and see if they can't get a view?
So this is like the little spot that the sun just went under, though.
So that's beautiful.
That's kind of sad. But yeah, I was sitting here and having a call with my friends, and yeah, that's when that idea came about.
Yeah. How long have you guys been in quarantine now? Everyone's saying your backyard is amazing.
That's such a difficult question.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
Were you guys already home when everything happened? I mean, what was kind of the timeline for you guys? Had you been on the road? Were you working on music at home anyway?
So I just went home like right after the Detroit show that we did. And I was gonna be home for like 1 week and then go back to America and do the rest of the shows. But during that week, actually, everything pretty much happened. And on that Thursday, yeah, the borders were closed. So I wasn't even able to fly back, and that's also around that time that we decided that it would be better to cancel all these shows.
Yeah, I'm sure that was a really tough decision. Not easy.
It really was.
It was a pretty crazy time because, I mean, we're in different time zones, 9 hours apart from each other. And like, I was watching the addressment of the nation, where, and basically like when Vince went back to the Netherlands, all of us were just thinking like, well, the worst thing that could happen, which will probably never happen, is if America would close down the borders for all European visitors. We were like, we talked to a bunch of different people, and everything, and none of them everybody was like, nah, that's never going to happen. It's never going to happen. And then I was watching that live stream, and they were just like, well, we're going to close the borders.
Yeah.
So
it happened, yeah.
Yeah, it happened. So, shit really hit the fan.
Right. I mean, that's the thing. Every part about what's happening right now is completely unprecedented. And I was just saying to everyone on the stream that, I think that's what makes this situation very unique. No one who's alive right now has experienced something like this that is so global. Everyone around the world, everyone who's on the stream right now, you guys, me, we're all experiencing this strange, unprecedented moment together. And that's where I think the solace comes from. And, I think that's maybe what helped inspire the track. Can you talk to me about what's really interesting to me as well is like, you guys weren't together and you both were independently inspired and working on things. Can you talk to me about that process? Vincent, maybe start with you.
Yeah, it's like, first of all, it's like getting used to this whole new thing. It was very surreal. So I also kind of had to like make a shift in my mind in how to even cope with it all, and therefore also I noticed that I was making a lot of different music than I would normally make.
And in what way?
Well, in the way that I was. Well, yeah, I think also this track is a testament to that. That it has some influences that I didn't think that I would use in a Droeloe song, and yeah, it's hard to explain though because it's yeah.
Well, it sounds like it is something that came straight out of you for a reason. You know, clearly you did it very quickly. I don't know that you were overthinking, maybe just reacting, just emoting, like.
Yeah, it was definitely more of a like a flowing thing. I felt like I need I needed to get it out in some way. It was very like cathartic in a way that yeah, just working and recording that trumpet and like singing and writing that lyric. Although it's not even like that difficult and impressive of a lyric and stuff. It flowed really nicely and yeah.
I see what you're saying, but I think the simplicity here is what makes it really striking. It's just what everyone's feeling, you know. Hein, tell me about what spurred you to build these beautiful images. They have this almost like everything seems so abandoned, but this girl jumping around through this playground is really hopeful at the same time. And I think her jacket's yellow, right? It's this very springtimey look.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, I had the idea of doing at least something with like the subject matter and just the feelings that I had at the time. After like 48 hours of dealing with all of this stuff, and like for me, it's like I have like Vince is still in the Netherlands, my mom and the rest of my family too. So I felt like I was kind of like encapsulated by bad news and like just horrible things, and I kind of felt like the only way for me to not constantly think about that and put all my energy into that was to put my energy into something else. And that's why I figured like, well, maybe make something like something cathartic with this whole situation. And that's kind of how the idea for the artwork came about. And originally me and Vince were both working on it separately, and we were both dealing with it in our own way, but not really. The plan wasn't for the two to be paired up, but when we both heard and saw what we worked on, we were like, "Oh, this is too good of a combo to not pair it up."
Yeah.
And how did it feel?
It was actually incredible how that came about.
Yeah.
Because, when you talked about that idea and like around the same time you heard the song, we're like, "Yo, this yeah."
You guys were like, "This is why we work together. We're on the same wavelength."
Yeah.
It works even when we're not trying.
I think that's funny enough how usually a bunch of our like creative interactions go, because everything's just, if we're both on the same page on what type of feeling a song is trying to convey, or the other way around, that's kind of like what we usually go off of, where there's the clear distilled story here that we basically need to honor both visually and auditive.
Yeah. And you guys are selling prints of these artworks on your site, no? Or when will that happen?
They went live yesterday.
Great. Awesome.
Yes.
That's really cool. What else is keeping you guys sane while you're in quarantine? I mean, you can't spend all your time writing. I can't wait.
For me, definitely although really sporadic, but like the couple runs to the grocery store.
Yeah, I think
because that's the
that.
only moment that I'm outside of the house and the garden. And that little bike trip to the grocery store is amazing.
Nice to take the bike too. How long of a bike ride is it?
Sorry?
How long of a bike ride do you get?
That's like it's only a 5-minute bike ride because it's like literally down the street. But I enjoy every second of it.
Mm-hmm. But you, Hein, what's keeping it together?
I try to go on a lot of walks in the morning, respectively staying 6 feet away from other people, of course.
Of course.
Yeah, that's kind of, I mean, that's what has been keeping me sane before quarantine and is still kind of doing the trick. It's the, I mean, I spend so much time behind my computer, and I feel like if I can just walk in the morning, walk around, and we usually have a bunch of team calls because, of course, all of us now work remotely, but we kind of used to do before. So that's kind of like my morning ritual, just go on a walk and talk to everybody that I need to talk to. Yeah, that's kind of what's been doing it for me. But also, yeah, we were talking about it right before the call too. It's like going to the grocery store is like the highlight of the week nowadays.
I know. You gotta get all dressed up.
Definitely.
Wave at all the birds and the squirrels that are your family now as you go down the street. We've got a family of ducks at a little man-made lake right by where I'm staying that we check in with every day, and we're paying attention. Are all the babies accounted for? And is everyone with their mom? Are you in bed yet? After the sun's gone down, it's fun in its own really weird way, you know.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah.
What are some of the plans you guys have coming up? You know, everyone's getting involved with live streaming, myself included. Hello, welcome everybody. But I think you guys might have some plans in the coming days, weeks. Why don't you let people know what's going on in Droeloe land?
I mean, a bunch is going on in Droeloe land. I think we're working on another big project, of course, but that's separated from Twitch. And then, yeah, we might, we're kind of looking into like, hey, how can we also join the Twitch hype in some sort of way, of course, and kind of trying to figure out how we can put our own spin to it. So that's something that we're working on, and hopefully Abe is able to go live like in the next coming weeks, you know.
Yeah.
And it might come across as a little jumping the bandwagon, but that is totally true, and I think it's only natural in this in this
economy.
Like,
yeah.
Well, yeah, not even that. Not even speaking about money and stuff, but just like we have so much more time now that we kind of want to like use that time in cool ways. I feel like too, and Twitch is a very cool way to share something and still stay quarantined pretty much. So,
I know. Yeah. Well, I hope that a lot of the ways people are experimenting with this technology that really we've had for years, and you know, some people are really utilizing it a lot, but others, such as myself, it's like discovering a new world, and I think there's even more potential with some of these tools than we had realized before, and I hope that some of these things continue after the all clear is given and safe to go outside again, not be the only ones.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. Oh, actually, do you want to talk about that big project you just mentioned? Are you able to talk about it? Is it like
we're unfortunately not really able to talk about it. But to put it in this way, we've been working on it for a very, very, very long time now.
Cool.
And I mean, yeah, like kind of ironically, this whole situation is also gives us a lot of room to work on that and make that the best thing that we can.
Hopefully. Yeah.
Yeah, hopefully. I mean, that's always the goal, you know.
Yeah.
But yeah, like ironically, this whole situation just gives us a little bit more room for that.
Cool. Well, I'm sure we all can't wait to see. I'm sure it's going to be fantastic. A lot of people did submit questions before we even went live. I want to go over some of the things that kept popping up there, and then we'll open the floor to Q&As with everyone who has been lovely enough to join us live. My friend has been looking out for all your questions, so don't worry, we will get to you. But first, I thought this was very nice, and I think we could all agree it's in order. Zeg wants some virtual hugs, so...
We'll do it. Come here.
Virtual hug.
Big loving virtual hug.
Oh, I feel so warm and fuzzy.
Nice.
Oh, I like that
I really feel like we're all hugging right now.
That was good for me. I hope that's good for you.
How long is it how long does this quarantine need to last before like there's some sort of technology invented where you can actually hug people
Totally. I've seen
remotely.
ads for those like pillows where if like someone with the other pillow is laying down on it, it glows or something. We all need that for our
Oh
friends.
yeah, definitely.
yeah.
Yeah, definitely.
So
I want that.
So some people were asking what artists y'all take the most influence from, both musically and visually. Who are some of the artists that have been really important in your formative process?
You want to take it away in the visual world, Hein?
Yeah, I'm trying to like kind of collect my thoughts here real quick. It's difficult. Like there's obviously a lot of inspirations, and I'm super terrible 9 out of 10 times in remembering names. But I for myself have a nice little Pinterest board.
Oh.
Pinterest also gets used for serious things instead of remodeling your kitchen.
That can be
Nice.
very serious. Though.
Yeah, it can be very serious. But there's a lot, like just to name a few, like there's this guy called People.
I love people.
Yeah, I love People. It's crazy. Like I've been following him for so long now, and it's just insane to see that he's been doing this daily for more than 5 years now.
I follow him on Instagram, and his like every day. It's so crazy.
It's insane. Like I've seen, I think more than 5 years at this point. Like, and the craziest thing is like I've seen interviews with him where it was like even on the day that my daughter was born, I posted an image, which was a really crappy image of like a 3D baby, pretty much. But at least it's something, And I think that's really admirable.
Yeah.
To have such a commitment to it all. And then besides that, there's another guy called Ash Torp, who's been a really big inspiration for me. Insane designer who's like worked on a bunch of really cool movie projects, Ghost in the Shell, and
yeah, that's a classic.
All of that stuff. And there's like infinite amount of other people that really inspire me, but that's kind of the two big ones, I guess.
Those are good picks. Yeah. I kind of see that too. That kind of like sci-fi, like weird.
Yeah, I mean, for me, it's always just really interesting to like think about how, like for example, how long is it going to be until somebody invents a machine where you could hug people remotely, and like what would that do to society? Yeah, and that's all would only be me, for example. That's kind of what sparked that thought. Like, what weird ways is technology going to evolve to help out with interesting social interactions?
Mm-hmm.
And that's for me, that's just a super interesting thought. And I mean, I think that's maybe also kind of a reoccurring theme. Just social interactions in general, and how the things around us influence that.
Mm-hmm. Especially right now. Vincent, what about you?
Yeah.
What about on the musical spectrum?
There's also like a big number of people that I can get inspired by.
Yeah.
But like for the people that inspired me the most and like the longest have been Noisia. It's like drum and bass. Love them.
If you don't know about Noisia in this stream, y'all better go listen to some Noisia.
Yes, you should. Also, Culprate is I still don't really know how to pronounce his name, but
I bet that happens to you guys too. So
it happens to us too. So it's in the end, it doesn't really matter. But I love his.
What do you mean? It's super clear,
No, yeah, he's crazy. His music is awesome, and has been a big inspiration. Yeah. Apart from that, I try to find like inspiration with all kinds of music and as much different styles of music as possible, actually. And I went through this phase where I pretty much only listened to like world music and like from Irish folk to like Sahara blues to like all kinds of cool stuff.
We need a world music playlist from you, I think. I want to hear all of that.
Yo. That's not a bad idea.
You got time.
That's yeah.
Yeah, like dude, time is not an excuse anymore. It's like I even notice it when I text people and they text back and it's like, yeah, sorry, they didn't respond. I was busy. Where it's like, bro, you're just sitting at home.
Yeah. Man, I just have to
Speaking
let you guys
of time,
know.
is it like dark out here? Do I need to go back inside?
We can see your face. I don't know. People in the chat, okay. you digging it? Does he need to move? Everyone, by the way, is like every once in a while just typing out lyrics of yours, and it's really special. You guys can't really see it, but it's really cool.
Awesome.
Some people asked Hein what program you use to make your art.
A bunch of different programs, but mainly Cinema 4D with the Octane render engine. That's kind of been that's kind of been the wheels of the whole thing. But obviously, like Photoshop and After Effects and all the standard ones, and kind of taking this time as well to dive into some more niche little programs, stuff to like make the jacket from the kid in I Can't Wait, for example. But yeah, mainly everything gets done in Cinema 4D.
Okay. Is there a program you would recommend for someone who is interested in getting into visual arts that maybe is a little easy for?
Yeah, definitely. I mean, Cinema 4D is super nice, and I think like the reason why I chose that as my preference is because it's kind of simple to understand. But Blender, for example, is a free open source program.
Cool.
I think that's like the lowest entry point, where it's like there's no excuse. It's not crazy expensive. It's completely free, and there's more than enough resources online to start learning it.
A few different people also asked how you guys found your unique style. And I think what people hear in terms of advice from a lot of artists is be unique. Find something different to do. And of course, that's easier said than done. So maybe you could give us a little bit of the backstory on how you guys found your voice as artists.
I think it's a lot to do with experimenting endlessly. And before the Droeloe project, I think Hein and I both, in our different like fields of work, we used to do a lot of experimenting, and we went through like all different types of making music and making art before we thought like, hey, maybe trap could also be a cool thing to try out, like trap music.
Oh yeah.
And that is how like this thing started. And then at some point, I feel like for both of us, there just clicked something, and it was like a accumulation of all the things that we've done before Droeloe, and it all got like came together in such a way that it really felt like us. Yeah.
And I think to add to that, and then I think also for me personally, it's like I've kind of always looked at it as to try and stay as close to yourself as possible, and therefore it being unique, because I mean there's nobody like you, and that's kind of, I think that's kind of what I try and do, is just to keep it as close to myself as possible, and keep the interpretations that I do of certain songs as close to myself as possible.
Yeah.
And yeah, that's kind of, I think, how you stay unique, quote unquote, I guess. But it's also like your stuff is always going to sound like something or look like something, and people have different references, and to really be unique, as in like I've never seen or heard this before, I think is a pipe dream. But
yeah,
just try it. I think just stay as true to yourself as possible.
Yeah, definitely.
How long does it usually take you guys to put a track together? And was I Can't Wait really one of the fastest? How does it compare?
It definitely was one of the fastest. Yeah, that's for sure. Like, I think there's only been maybe 2 other tracks that were created so fast. One of them was ZZZ, actually. I think that one was made in one weekend,
Nice.
from start to finish. But usually it can be really long as well. There's been this one track, Written Maze, which I started around the same time that we released Bon Voyage, and that is like, how long
Everyone's
does that ago? Do you know?
clapping for
I
ZZZ.
like 3 years ago or
Something like that. Yeah.
It's like that song has been in the works for an awful long time.
Yeah, and it has probably like 500 versions, and it's not like I've worked on it like the whole way through, but yeah, some tracks just need that time on the shelf before it comes through fruition.
Yeah.
It's like fine wine.
Exactly. Hey, if it sounds good after all that time it took you to make it, it'll probably sound good for a while after it's out. Timeless qualities.
Hopefully.
Okay. Someone asked how you get your leads to sound so warm. What gives Droeloe's sound that warm, fuzzy feeling?
Depends on the definition of warm,
Yeah.
I guess. But I think, well, I use a lot of, if it's a more technical question, I use a lot of tape saturation. So like, and I even recently bought a tape, like small tape recorder, that I love to like pull sounds through. And that really gives like a warmth to a sound.
Yeah. I love that. Mixing the analog with your digital world, you know? Analog has that fun, crackly, it's real.
Yeah, true.
Okay, I know people in the chat really want to get their questions read as well. This was one I thought was interesting. Someone asked if you guys would ever put a sample pack out or work on something like that.
We've been thinking about that.
Yeah,
but probably maybe not in the way that people would expect, though.
Yeah, funny enough, that's something that we talked about quite recently. But yeah, just like Vince said, it's like probably not in the way that people expect a sample pack to come out. But it's I think it's definitely an idea that we're playing with.
Cool. Yeah. I'm sure everyone's excited about that one. Oh, okay. Someone wants us to say pizza, so we're gonna say pizza.
Pizza.
Happy New Year, 1997.
Yeah, Happy New Year. Okay, so let's get some of these questions that are in the chat. Oh, thank you, Sheila. Thank you. My hair is dope. That's what she says. That's very nice. Someone's asking who the vocalist is of Can't Wait. Is that just you?
Yeah, that's me.
Yeah, I kind of thought so. All right, let me see. Someone wants to know what you would recommend for starting a music project and where to submit tracks and whether to distribute music on your own or try to find some labels.
Ooh,
it's an interesting question. I mean, to be fairly honest, from our end, we kind of we lucked out.
Yeah,
kind of. Because
we definitely did. Yeah.
Yeah, we definitely did. I mean, we started just dropping tracks on SoundCloud with kind of like a 30-minute thought about like, okay, cool, we'll do this and this and this, and then we just dropped it on SoundCloud and made sure that we all shared the Facebook link at the Facebook post at the time, and that was kind of it. And then we just lucked out by Son and Bitbird hearing our music through some weird via this person, via that person.
Yeah, it was a whole thing.
Yeah, chain. And then all of a sudden, like, we got management and had a label to release on it and everything kind of went from there, you know. So we're maybe not the best judges on you should do this, this, and this to make it in the music industry because we, in the very beginning, lucked out.
But I do think that consistency and if you like have the feeling that you really enjoy a certain sound, that you and a certain way to putting it out, that you should stick with it, and whether that's on SoundCloud or or on whatever platform, doesn't really matter. I think, yeah, I think that if you want people to find you, that is also like a great way to tell them, like, hey, this is what I can consistently keep doing, and therefore you are also more interesting for the labels to pick up. And because if you just have one track and try to push that track to a lot of different people, they still don't know if you are able to make a follow-up track. So I think to just keep creating and keep putting it out there, regardless if it gets picked up right away, because you can also always release, well, not always, but there is a lot of options to release later, like tracks that are already on SoundCloud or something. Yeah, and just not being scared of doing that is a very good way to go about it, I feel.
So Mbound or MB Hound said, "Facing the sea through the storm is probably my favorite artwork. Is there a possibility for you to add it to the art gallery so we can buy it?"
Yes, that's definitely a possibility. I mean, yeah, we're like with the whole art gallery thing, we're always kind of like trying to fit everything in there. It's like when a song comes out, we want to drop that artwork. But yeah, we're definitely working on like slowly releasing all the older songs, and some of them kind of need to be scaled up in resolution and stuff. And there's some technical things that we need to do, but we're definitely working on it.
Greetings from Germany. Hi, Germany.
Hello, Germany.
I hope on my screen on my phone it looks like we might have froze a little bit in the video. Are we good on yours, Hein?
Let me check real quick.
Okay.
I think we're still good. Or
okay,
at least,
good. Just
for
checking.
me, it looks like it's
Everyone's
still good.
talking to us like it's normal. I just want to be sure. Okay. Eber Stark said, "What was their first show in the U.S.? Do you guys remember? What was that story like?"
Yo, Eber Stark, what's up?
Eber Stark was funny enough at one of the first shows that we ever did in the U.S.
Cool.
Yeah, I hope you're doing well, dude. Hope you're surviving these crazy times.
He says, "LOL."
Yeah, I think the first show that we did was in, correct me if I'm wrong, Vince, but I think it was in Santa Ana.
Yost Lounge. Was it?
No, Bar Ellipsis. I don't know
Bar
if that
Ellipsis
exists anymore, but yeah, we were on a tour with Son, and so originally our first ever show would be at the Eos Lounge in Santa Barbara, and then the second one would be at the Yost Theater in Santa Ana, and the promoter from the Yost Theater was like, "Hey, does Droeloe want to do like a little pre-party on Thursday?" And we were like, "Yeah, sure." We just got off the flight and we are jet lagged as crazy, but we'll do it.
Yeah, true.
Amazing. You got to. Come on now.
I know, right? It was that's a long time ago. I think that's like
a really long time ago. I was so nervous.
I think we both were so incredibly nervous.
Yeah.
Do you remember that it was such a small booth? And
yeah, if we jumped, we hit there were like pipes above the DJ booth.
Yeah, we hit like the drain pipes and everything like that. So it was a lot of fun. Man, I think that's like 3 years ago or something like that. Wow. Like I think 3 years,
4 maybe even.
I think 3 years. Man, it feels like 10 years. It feels like 10 years for some reason.
Holy moly, yeah.
Oh, first of all, I want to say what's up to. Oh, not interrupt you.
Oh no! I just remembered that we like started the mosh pit at the end of that show.
Yes.
Oh yeah, true.
Mosh pits are always welcome. I still get in the pit. I don't even care. Me and the kids.
Same.
Okay, I wanted to say hi, Kids Waste, because I see you in there. And then I really liked this. What can you say to people who are starting to get into music but are afraid of failing? Feel it here.
Yeah. Failing is a matter of perspective.
Yeah.
I think it's really hard to actually fail at music. I think there's not. I think you really cannot fail at music because if it comes, if you like it, then yeah, then it doesn't really matter if how many other people would like it too. Like, I think it's also just staying true, like making what you want to hear. That's what music is about for me, and also for us both. I think that we want to make what we want to see and hear.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
yeah, I think that failing in general is just like it really depends on what your goals are, you know. Because if failing in music is failing into making it your full time career, then yes, that can obviously be scary, especially if you put everything on the line for it, of course. But I think maybe in that situation, you just got to focus on making music that you have fun making, and maybe that's already succeeding in music, you know.
Mm-hmm.
If you're having fun with it, then it's just a cool hobby. Because I mean, turning your hobby into your career is obviously a thing that a lot of people dream about, but it's also, yeah, at the end of the day, it's also not for everybody. So I think it's just more focus on having fun with it and focus on enjoying what you make.
I think if you're having fun
True.
with something, keep doing it. And if it stops being fun, take a step back. Think about what you can do to make it fun again. You know, that's
True.
what's important.
Yeah.
Also, someone brought up the reimagined visual contest, and I forgot to bring that up. Do you guys want to talk about that? What's going on there?
Definitely. There's a lot going on. We picked the winners a couple days ago. We're announcing them. We're announcing them tomorrow. We're first of all, before anything else, we're super happy with all the submissions that came in. Super positively surprised about everything, and it was a lot of fun seeing what other people came up with and just seeing their own interpretations and stuff. And yeah, there's going to be a couple winners. I think 5 in total. But yeah, super excited. You'll see them tomorrow.
Whoa, that's so exciting. Yay, congrats to the future winners. To the winners that don't even know they're winners yet.
Well, they know they're winners yet. We've obviously reached out.
Congrats to the winners who know.
Yeah. If you're one of the winners, check your email and reply back.
Are you guys rescheduling your tour? Someone asked if there will be any updates on that.
We're definitely going to try. That's for sure. And we're still looking how to. But yeah, obviously it's not easy to even like future project what could happen and what is still about to.
Yeah, it's super rough to make any sort of like long-term plans at this point, and it's also like, I mean, we're trying to reschedule, but so are hundreds of other acts, and we're all fighting to play in the same venues and have it be nicely routed so we can drive from one spot to the other with a bus, and it's this super complicated thing that I think everybody's kind of dealing with right now. And I mean, shout out to our manager Megan, who's been
shout out Megan.
Working. Shout out Auntie Megs. She's been working.
She's cool.
She's been working really hard on figuring out something. So we're definitely working on it. But yeah, it's hard right now to give you guys like a clear answer.
Yeah.
I know we touched upon this a little bit earlier, but someone's asking if you have any live streams planned. Where will they be able to hear about those live streams when you announce?
Well, like for sure, you'll be able to hear about them on any of our social media platforms.
Okay. Yes.
And we're still trying to figure out where we're going to host the actual live stream, or if it's going to be on multiple platforms. But you'll definitely hear about it on our own social media.
Good. Stay watching those socials. Stay updated. Stay tuned.
Stay tuned.
More to
Stay
come. Eber Stark says you should do a cooking stream. Just throwing out ideas.
Ooh.
I mean, Vince is really good at making sandwiches.
I still need to make those sandwiches because they're like a while ago during the tour or the half that we did do. I kind of promised that I would live stream making sandwiches, and that never happened.
I mean, yeah, we kind of need to make up for that.
Yes.
Oh,
Well, there's great bread in the Netherlands, so
yeah, definitely. Maybe we could just introduce some limitations and make it a challenge. I mean, back then, making a sandwich from truck stop supplies on a driving bus was definitely a nice challenge.
That was a nice challenge, yeah.
Stream it. No. Rockstarsky wants to know, Vince, how you master your tracks. If you master your tracks, they're struggling to make their tracks loud enough. I know a lot of artists have other artists master their tracks. So I don't know. Do you do yours?
I do master my own tracks, but I don't really do that much, to be honest, because I personally think that it's a lot about how you mix it, and if the mix is it's mainly dependent on the mix. You cannot master a track louder if the mix is still not like almost as good as the master should sound like. If that makes sense, because it's kind of the same like if a movie director says like, yeah, we'll fix it in post. That is it's just not gonna happen. It's not gonna work that way. So if the mix is great, then it shouldn't be too hard to master it too. And from my perspective and from my experience mostly.
Cool. Someone wants to know what it's like to be a part of Bitbird and how it's opened doors for you, or what doors maybe. Or... From what I can tell outside, Bitbird seems like a really fun crew to be with. So.
Definitely.
Yeah, most definitely. Well, first of all, we occasionally get a nice little Bitbird sweater.
Yeah,
that's great.
Which is great.
They're super comfy.
They're super. The burgundy ones. I mean, Vince has his already. Mine it's on its way right now. I'm very excited. I don't have it yet. I'm very excited for it. I'm every day checking the tracking code. But I mean, I think to answer the question a little bit better. For us personally, I mean, Bitbird has always allowed us to have complete creative freedom over what we wanted to do, both musically and visually, but also in terms of marketing and stuff. And I think that's something that we very much appreciate. Like, I don't think there would be a lot of other labels that would be okay with us being like, hey, we've got this song called Only Be Me, and for the marketing campaign, we're going to launch a fake, glass box that people wear on their heads, and that's going to be the whole thing. We're also going to make some fake commercials and set up a phone number just for people to pre-order it. I don't think a lot of labels would be like, yeah, that's sick, let's do it. Here's the resources you guys need to make it.
Yeah.
And
that would probably be more convincing.
I love the
involved.
Fake commercials.
Yeah, I think that's mainly the doors that Bitbird has opened up for us, just giving us the freedom and the resources to take the project where we want to take it.
Oh,
True.
Rockstarsky says I said his name right, so I feel proud of myself, guys. Okay, everyone always says my last name wrong. It's fine. It's like Droeloe, we're all here saying each other's names right. Any collaborations or remixes coming soon that you can say? I'm trying to get at questions. I know everyone has questions. I hope you're enjoying the answers.
I don't think we have that many collaborations or remixes in the works, but there's still some that were started a while ago, and right now maybe have an opportunity to be finished, maybe. So that would be cool.
Someone, Peaksel wants to know if the voice in your track Back When 1997 was one of your voices when you were a kid.
No, it wasn't. It was someone of our team. Yeah, that would be so sick. No, it was someone out of our team that had a niece and recorded her and yeah, wait, no, did we have like a...
I think originally we had a YouTube. There was a YouTube video of a dad filming his kids, and like it had like 5 views or something, like super unknown. And we used that, and obviously in order to release something like that, you need proper approval and clearance and everything like that. So we tried to reach out, but unfortunately, I think the account was inactive or something, and we just couldn't get a hold of them. So then somebody from our team recorded her niece, and we kind of fed the lines a little bit. But it turned out to still have the same feeling to it, which is great.
Yeah.
That's cool. A bot wants to know, will the Always Forget About Life Droeloe edit be released, or was it an exclusive?
We still haven't really decided on that yet, I think. But we were thinking of keeping that for the shows. But maybe.
Who knows? I did, like, officially releasing it is also, that's going to be an interesting endeavor, because obviously it's somebody else's song that we unofficially remixed. So it's definitely something to look into. But who knows?
Yeah. This is for me. I want to know what music you guys have been listening to in quarantine. Are there things you're getting back into from when you were younger? Are there new things that you've discovered while you've been sitting around? Like, what are you digging?
I've been listening to a lot of Wolfpack. It's like this funk kind of band, and I love them. And I love I just watched a bunch of their live performances on YouTube. And if you haven't watched those, you should definitely go watch those, because they're awesome. That's mainly what I've been listening to. How about you, Hein?
I've dug up like an old playlist that I made like 5 years ago or something. I think right before we started Droeloe. So I've been kind of getting back into that. It's a lot of like Flying Lotus and stuff like that. And Bon Iver. Really been getting back into Bon Iver.
Some good
lately.
Isolation vibes.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, it's just like nice. It's nice and peaceful, you know. And I don't know. Besides that, a while back, funny enough, I really got into Harry Styles' album. For some reason, I really liked it. It was just nice and nice and poppy for a change, you know.
Yeah. It's good to brighten it up, change it up.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, and like a bunch of other random things. I usually put like Spotify just on the radio mode, that it just like automaticely pulls up new songs from some sort of algorithm. Yeah, shout out to the algorithm. It's like it's painfully accurate sometimes in how it like collects everything.
Yeah. Hey, it's getting to be about an hour. I just want to check in with you guys and see if you're down to answer a few more questions, whatever your schedules are. You guys good to keep going a little bit?
I don't have that full of a schedule for the rest of the night now.
Yeah, no. I mean, I was planning on making a sandwich later, and but that's about it.
Okay, cool. Just want to check in. I will. Some TJ Neutron said your drum lines are so beautifully delicate and intricate. Can you break down a bit of the thought process that goes into building some of your tracks?
Ooh. Yeah. Layers, a lot of layers. And I try to record more and more stuff too. It's mostly like, as far as the drum lines go, it's just like ideas, like a lot of different ideas that I layer on top of each other, and then they together form this more intricate, almost sometimes polyrhythmical feel. Don't really know other words to describe that.
How do you know when a track is done? I'm always amazed by that.
You don't. You just release it. Just release it. Yeah.
I think that's what almost every creative expression. It's never truly done. It just gets released.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then you move. Then you make the next one, and it's just a constant expression that never ends. All right. Oh, what was the inspiration for both the song and the art of snow shovels?
I think kind of similar to I Can't Wait, but without the global pandemic.
True.
I think it was wintertime around that. Yeah.
Or at least it was very cold in the Netherlands.
It was very cold, and it seemed like very grim. That's what I remember. Outside it was super grim, and it was just it was like a metaphor of how grim it was, and then still trying to think of the sun and to think that better times will come back.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Mm-hmm. And they did then, and they will now.
Yeah.
It's always
really funny. I was right before this stream. I was taking a little walk around the block, and I saw that somebody crayoned "It'll All Be Okay" on the floor with like a rainbow. And I was like, that's very pretty. I have to catch a stream, otherwise I would take a picture of it.
Oh my gosh, now I'm inspired. I want to get some chalk delivered and just go around writing happy messages on stuff.
That's
awesome. I also saw a lot of people going out on walks and meanwhile just picking up trash that was everywhere. But yeah, I think it's great that people take this time, the time they have to like kind of contribute something, whether that's picking up trash or crayoning stuff on walls. More of that. I like that.
Yeah, definitely. That's awesome.
People followed up with a bunch of drum questions, and I think it can really be boiled down to, do you guys make your drums? Do you use packs? Where do the sounds come from, and how do you put them together?
It's a little bit of both. I use some packs, and they're all blended together in we both used to go to art school, and in art school there was this vibe of everybody just shared all the packs that they had. And so that was all pre-Splice time. I've never used Splice. I'm open to it, but I feel like I've got enough samples already.
Yeah.
But yeah, I use a bunch of those old packs, and then I combine them with stuff that I record, whether it's my own finger snaps or I have some brushes that I hit on different materials and stuff.
Mm-hmm. You know, when we were talking about how to find a sound that's unique to you, I think creating some of your own sounds is an easy way to make something unique and not just relying on sample packs or sounds other people have used, you know?
Yeah, definitely.
And there's a lot of talk about so many different collabs, people wondering if you'd collab with people or what happened to collabs you had with people. Cali, Martin Garrix, Sub-Zero Project, so many names. So maybe can you just talk about how collabs happen, you said you can't really talk about collabs you're working on, but I guess there's a process to this, right?
That
why
kind
did
of
some
is,
collabs
yeah.
come out? Why,
I think it's that it's a collab is in the end just also working on another track, and with all tracks, for all artists, I think that sometimes it works and sometimes it is a cool idea that doesn't really go anywhere or doesn't fit both the brands, and I think when it works, it's really dope then, and it should be finished, and I'm not saying that there is not still cool stuff out there that we could finish. But in the end, it's like a case by case thing, definitely.
Someone wants to know when you're going to release a new track. They just did release a new track, yo.
It's like that's just a never-ending question. When new music, and when you come to Brazil.
No, when are you coming to Brazil? Someone did ask if you would ever come to Miami. I saw that. It sticks out in my head because I'm from that area. So when this is over, they'll go everywhere.
Yes.
Oh, it's funny. Oh, someone wants to know how the dynamic between you two works. I know something about that. We've talked about it before.
So yeah,
do you two usually
like living in different.
ideas?
Oh, sorry.
No, sorry. I should let you talk.
Well, it's that like because we live in different time zones, we mainly have contact over the phone. So also most of our brainstorms happen over the phone, and yeah, it's like we both work on stuff separately, and then we come together and huddle up and see where it will go.
Cool. Everyone wants to know how they can send music to you, or how they can share their art with you.
Okay. Think. Yeah.
I think.
Like. Sorry.
I think we do have a promo email, but we do, but I think like full disclosure, we don't check that email a lot.
No, and I think that's the main reason why is that we don't really like know what we would like do with it, because in the end we try to focus as much on creating, and we don't own a label, and yeah, we're I guess like it's not that we're not interested, of course, but it's like more we are trying to keep ourselves busy as much as possible with the making of it, and therefore also even sometimes exposing yourself to a lot of music, at least for me, is not the best way to go about that. But yeah, the promo mail is still available.
I mean, the promo mail, promos at Droeloe.com is still there. We very, very occasionally check it, but I think if you're trying to like get your music places or something, I know like Bitbird has a promo email, and they
actively check it. Yeah,
they actively check it. Like, to name another few places, like one of our good friends, Sasha Vibes, who works at Monster Cat, is he checks everything you send to him, and he's a super good person to send your music to. Maybe not even necessarily for Monster Cat, but like there's people out there that are definitely willing to listen to other people's music. So are we, but for us it's just hard to. Like Vince said, I think we're not at the point yet, maybe where we have our own label and we want to actively support. I think for us right now, it's just we're focusing on ourselves.
I totally get that. As a creative, sometimes there are moments where you need to just shut out the world a little bit and see what's going on here.
Yes.
Share that.
Yep.
I totally feel that. I loved this question as well. Someone asked how you stay motivated creating, whether it's music or art, both of you, when you have moments of blockage. Like, I think that happens to everyone. Motivation is not a constant, no matter how much we wish it was or how much coffee we drink.
Yeah, true.
So have you guys found ways?
Any creative block can be lifted after 3 flat whites.
I wish it was.
Yeah, I wish it was so simple. I mean, personally, I think those moments happen, you know? You're going to be creatively blocked at a certain time. And what I personally try to do is to then maybe not focus on that big big project that you're working on that needs a lot of creativity and a lot of attention, but maybe shift your focus for a little bit towards some smaller things, whether that's like cleaning up your house even, or like doing the dishes or whatever. Just to kind of give yourself that like endorphin and dopamine of, hey, I completed something, while not being able to complete the bigger tasks.
Yeah, definitely. And also, it happens to everyone, like we just said, and therefore it's okay to experience that, and like telling yourself that it is okay is also a great way to like at least make the time that you are blocked probably shorter as well.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Yeah, and I think I saw something really nice the other day where somebody posted like a nice little text image of like, it's okay if your routine changes because of everything that's going on.
Yeah.
And I think that's true, like,
yeah,
situations change even with this like massive pandemic, of course, but also just in life, of course we all strive for like a consistent work ethic of like working as hard as possible for the most consecutive time as we can, but something like stuff happens, there's like anything can happen, and it's okay. Like life happens, and you gotta appreciate that, or at least try to appreciate that.
Mm-hmm. I also shout out my boyfriend. He said the other day while we were talking, like, everyone has this feeling like they need to do something really special with this moment because all of a sudden they're indoors and maybe they have more time. But it's also really okay if all you do is get through it.
Yes.
No
yeah.
big...
Very true.
Very true.
I think we both felt that pressure in the beginning too, right? At least I did.
Yeah, same here, man. It's like you see everybody. Funny enough, you see everybody and their mom being like, "Hey, here's my Twitch schedule. Like, I'm now streaming on Twitch 5 days a week," and we're just like, "And like, what are we doing?" But I mean, we're just trying to get through it, and trying to come up with ways that help us get through the situation, but also do quote unquote more work. But I think for me personally, I'm just trying to do things better instead of doing more.
Yeah, doing things better, and also just doing things that we really like connect with. Like if we were to do like some more Twitch stuff, we're definitely gonna do something that is in the line of what we already were doing. And yeah,
make it you.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah,
I'm gonna do a couple more questions and then get to wrapping it up. I just want to make sure my computer doesn't do, like, it's been doing it for a while. gotta keep everything from exploding. It seems like it's fine, but just in case.
For sure.
So Pronoy Music says, what plugins do you use most for processing sounds? And someone else also asked, do you spend more time using samples, or do you spend more time designing sounds? Maybe you can kind of touch on both.
I use Serum a lot, and this is like synthesizer plugin, and I mostly build my own sounds in there, so I don't really like using presets, but I do sometimes use those and then like mess and like flip them over pretty much. And also in terms of processing sound, there's this awesome plugin called Gulfos. I think that's how you pronounce it. GULFOSS. And it's this almost artificial intelligent equalizer thing. And I only discovered it recently, and it's amazing. So go check that out. It's been in the making for 10 years, I believe. It's awesome. And in terms of samples, I have this really chaotic sample library in which I don't know where to find anything. I pretty much, just go to a place that I've never been before and then see if there's a cool sound that inspires me. And that's how I, most of my time, use like samples, if I do. Yeah.
organize your stuff. No, just
Yeah. Maybe I should. Yes.
Oh.
Maybe
I mean,
should
who
at
knows?
least make
Maybe
fingers. I don't know.
maybe there's some organization within the chaos, you know.
That's true.
I
That's
guess
very
there
true.
is. I have like certain spots with, I don't know.
Yeah, no, like I mean, it's hard, man, sometimes to organize all your stuff while
It is hard.
creating as well. Like
It is really hard.
it's difficult.
I love this question from MB Hound and Bound. Both of you, which one of your older songs or artworks holds the most nostalgia for you now? What touches you to go back and think and hear or see?
You take a one now.
For me, Bon Voyage. I think that's like that one holds the most nostalgia to me, as a song, but also as the artwork. For me, the artwork was kind of also based around nostalgia. We kind of took this song and created this story, which was super relatable to us both, being like growing up in the Netherlands, in like kind of like similar area, and what like everybody used to do, and I think a lot of people still do, is go on vacation to France, and go camping, and it would just be like, because it's not that far from the Netherlands, so you would leave like super early in the morning, or late at night the day before, and like all you would do on that like 8 hour car ride is like play your Game Boy, just play one on your Game Boy, and just watch the lights pass by and stuff like that, and that's kind of what we used as a story for that song. And for me, that was very nostalgic because that was like every summer for me, and like until I turned like 15.
Mm-hmm. I can relate.
For me too. Actually, for me, the Bon Voyage is also the most nostalgic track, and artwork also. Not for the same reason necessarily that I didn't go to France that often, but that track was made right before we went on our first tour. So to me, that time period was just looking back at the time when that got created is special in itself, and that together with the track Lily Pads, which was created right at the end of the first tour, like those two are the most nostalgic for me because of those reasons.
This is my question. Now that you're kind of forced to be inside, what are some things you miss the most about being on the road, or like what are just the part? I know it can be tough and chaotic, but what are some of the better moments that you recall or miss right now?
Right now, I miss the most that to play trumpet and the cajon, I still don't know how to properly pronounce that.
But you miss playing
But that was like so dope to do, like playing those instruments on stage, and I only got to do it for a couple times now, but I really, really want to get back at doing that because that was just so much fun. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, Hein, were you on the road the last time? I guess you weren't.
I was there for the first couple shows.
Yeah.
Just that. I mean, obviously, also just to see the show. You know, I've never seen a Droeloe show before that, so.
So it
was. Yeah, true, because it's like we've always been together on stage, you know, and like I had never seen Droeloe live before that, so it was just, I mean, it was a super fun experience. Like after just seeing Vince on stage by himself and really doing what he loves to do, and seeing that was really nice to see.
And
but yeah, I mean,
you helped create be like enjoyed by so many people. That's so cool.
Yeah, it was a lot of fun. Also, like touring on a bus is just because we never did it before. It's a total 180 from flying every day.
Definitely,
like it's crazy how different it is. But yeah, I mean, I was thinking about it yesterday or 2 days before, like, because I mean, we've been working remotely with each other, but also with the rest of our management team for so long that like this situation is kind of not necessarily really different from what we usually do on a day-to-day basis. But I mean, I do miss seeing my friends, and I think both me and Vince are fortunate enough to not spend this quarantine completely by ourselves. So that kind of helps it. But I was just thinking, like, if this thing goes on for like 2 more months, I'm probably going to get a little crazy of not being able to like go see your friends and like go for dinner somewhere, or I don't know, just like go do things and not have this giant cloud above everything.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And if you are out there all by yourself, we love you and you can pull through. And just want to like tell you this because love is something that can be shared, and you should do it. Yeah.
Our hearts go out to you.
Yes.
Guys, I love that. On that note, let's get one more virtual hug because I think we all need it.
All right, go here.
Get another big virtual hug in.
Big virtual huggies. Wait, I'll cradle you.
Guys, both of you, I just want to say thank you again so much for coming and joining me today. It was really fun chatting with you guys and connecting with everyone on the stream. Is there any last thought or message that you want to say before I let you go here?
Well, first of all, thank you for having us because this was a lot of fun.
It was a lot of fun.
I'm so glad. You're welcome back anytime.
I mean, I think everything will get back to normal eventually. It might be a while.
And it might be a new normal.
Yeah.
Yeah, it might not be the normal that we all know. But yeah, just I think hang in there, and find the little things to enjoy.
Yeah.
If you cannot enjoy the big things right now.
True. Very true.
Yeah.
And also find your normal, if that makes sense.
Mm-hmm. It does.
Yeah.
And like Kat's boyfriend said, it's okay if you're not doing.
It is.
I thought it was really nice. It's okay if
Yeah.
you're not doing a lot. It's fine to just get through this.
Exactly.
And yeah,
because
I think a lot
already,
of people,
that's already
a
a lot.
lot. And I think a lot of people are also just dealing with that right now. Where it's like everything is like obviously the whole pandemic stuff, but it's like people are worrying about like I'm at home, so I'm eating more chocolate, so I'm gaining weight, and so where it's like, and that all happens. This isn't a situation that none of us has been in before, and therefore nobody expects you to come out of this better or anything like that. We all hope that everybody comes out of it.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Well said. Well said. Well, Hein, Vincent, thank you so much again. Thank you for I Can't Wait. I hope that your family and yourselves and your friends all stay safe and healthy throughout this experience. And I, for one, and everyone on the stream can't wait to come see you on the road, hear you in their ears, see you on live streams. Ooh, you got a nice bell.
That is the clock.
That's the end of the stream bell.
Oh my god, we're all going to turn back into, like, pumpkins.
It's going to ring for 10. Oh, no. Wait, what?
Amazing.
Oh, I don't think it's on the right time.
What is it? It's 1. All right.
Dude, it's
all right,
also
guys.
5 minutes ahead.
Right. I should fix that clock. Well, thanks again for having us.
Thank you so much. It's such a pleasure. Everyone is sending you hearts. Everyone is sending hearts. All right.
How do you do it? The tiny heart?
Oh, tiny heart.
The tiny heart. Wait, do you do it like this?
Yeah,
or?
it's like this. It's a Korean thing. Do you see how
Korean
it's
hearts?
like a heart?
Korean hearts for everybody out
Korean
there.
hearts.
Yes, all the Korean hearts.
All the Korean hearts.
All right. Love to you guys.
All right.
See you soon.
See you soon. Bye-bye.
Bye. Thank you, everybody. How was that? Thank you so much for participating. I hope that you guys enjoyed the conversation as much as I did. And if we didn't get to your questions, I'm so sorry about that. We really did make it last as long as we could. They are amazing. I agree. Yeah, thanks again for tuning in to my first official episode of Cat Calls. I will be doing this at least once a week. I believe, oh, you're so welcome. Thank you for coming by. And if you would like to view this again, I will be uploading it to my YouTube channel. I'm going to go ahead and make a fresh one for Cat Calls, I think. And if not, please contact me on Twitter. It's Cat Says Kill, KATSAYSKILL. Instagram is the same as well. And please, oh, hello, Sydney Pooch, I love you. Let me know who you might want to see on the show and what you might like to see in the future. We're all part of this together, and I really think that what makes Twitch so cool is that we can be a part of a community and create something that isn't just about me and isn't just about whoever's on the show with me, but it's also about you and how we're all going to put this together and figure it out. We're all figuring it out. All right, well, I can't wait to hear more from you online. The conversation is never really over. I'm always calling, and you're always free to call me as well. Thank you so much. I will see you next week. Bye, stay safe.